So today I have the absolute privilege of speaking to Kat Gladwell, who's the CEO of Refugee Support Network, which is an incredible charity that we at Christchurch have been supporting, I think, for almost 10 years now. Kat, we are huge fans of RSN, huge fans of you personally. So it's a real privilege to be able to speak to you today. Why don't we start, for those who maybe haven't heard of RSN before, what exactly is it that you guys do?
Yes, but before I do that, I do have to say that the feeling goes both ways, and I am a huge fan of Christchurch, and I can actually look back at several key moments in my life, both work-related and personal, when I've happened to come along to Christchurch services and just been like blessed to be beyond measure, or received a word from somebody, and I can some real key defining moments in my life have happened in a Christchurch service. So yeah, thank you from me personally, and also just the partnership that we have for Refugee Support Network is wonderful as well. So yes, in answer to your actual question, what do? We provide education and wellbeing related support for young refugees and asylum seekers across the country. When we first got involved with Christchurch, we were a tiny local church-led project up in North London, and I got introduced by a mutual friend to a woman called Hannah Elwyn, who I imagine some of you know very well. And from that moment on, just knew that we were going to have a wonderful partnership with Christchurch. And as you know, Hannah has gone on to be one of the most instrumental members of our senior leadership team in driving the organisation forward. So Christchurch helped us turn from being a small local project in Northwest London to having our first project that was in a different geographical location, where we together set up an educational mentoring scheme for unaccompanied young refugees and asylum seekers. So, kids under 18 that are here in this country without their parents, having fled wars or other types of persecution, helping them learn English, progress in other elements of their education, and also boosting their confidence and giving them that sense of welcome. And it was Christchurch volunteers that were the mentors in that initial project in South London.
It has been so exciting for us to be involved, like almost from the ground floor, and just to see you guys grow and just to hear what's going on. It's been really, really exciting and a real privilege that we just get to partner in this way. And I guess over the years, we've seen like the stats of like hundreds of teenage refugees and asylum seekers being helped by you guys. But as we know, behind all those stats, there are just so many different stories. And I think we have a story to show now, which is Diwa, who came from Afghanistan, and we're just going to hear a bit about her story.
Hi, my name is Diwa and I'm come from Afghanistan. When I arrived to the UK, I was 16 years old. My journey was easy to compare with other refugees, but my mom arrived 2 years before me and she had lots of problems and she struggled with lots of things. In terms of my education, I had lots of problems, but I just want to mention some of them. In the beginning, when my teacher spoke to me, I could understand, but I couldn't speak, and that was very frustrating and annoying, and also students were not very nice to me. In that time, RSN introduced me with a mentor called Laura. She's a very nice person, and every week we have a one-to-one lesson, and she helps me a lot to improve my reading, writing, and speaking. And also even she helps me with maths. Now I'm very happy because this year I'm doing my GCSE maths with people who they are from the UK, and I have to keep up my English level with them, and I have more friends and I have more confidence now. And that the building project is very good for refugees to learn together, and it's good for their mental health because they came here with lots of struggles. I would like to have this space when I arrive to the UK to meet new people and have new friends. So if you want, please support the project.
So Kat, Diwa in her story mentioned a new building. Tell us about that. It's super exciting. What's going on?
The process of buying that building was incredible. It's felt like a journey with God and an adventure of the impossible becoming possible again and again. ever since we first heard that the building was on the market. We heard about it. We felt that it was the right thing for us to do, to try to buy it. It's a completely derelict former bank. It's a huge, beautiful building, but it has seen better days, to put it mildly. And we want to transform it into an education centre for young refugees. It got sold to somebody else, and it seemed like it was game over. And then kind of at the 11th hour, we got a call from the estate agent saying the people who were buying it have pulled out, and they've recommended that we sell it to you instead because they've heard about what you want to do in this area. That was completely out of our control, and astonishing, and yet also not at all surprising. I think there's been so many moments in this journey when I felt utterly stunned by something that has happened, and yet also not at all surprised because it's completely in line with what we believe God has said to us. And I think perhaps maybe that is a feature of walking with God, that you have those kind of repeat moments throughout your life. We are now in the process of refurbishing that building. And I think the reason that I'm so excited about these things that have seemed to go from impossible to possible is that it just makes me think, well, God's not doing this because he, really wants us to have a headquarters or an office. Like, he's doing this because he wants to transform people's lives, and this provision is for a reason, and what is going to happen there. And so that's what gets me really excited about the next season.
That is so exciting. I guess, like other changes, the observant amongst us when watching the video of Diwa would have noticed that the logo and the name is different. Tell us about that.
Yes. So for the last 10 years, we've been called Refugee Support Network. And at the time, that was because, it did what it said on the tin. We were here to support refugees. Actually, everything that we do is about education and well-being related support for young refugees. And we're constantly having to turn away referrals for legal advice, for housing support, for medical queries, and just, things that we don't have the resources or the expertise to provide. And at the same time, young people that we work with have repeatedly told us, when I needed education support, it took me a while to find you because there's nothing in your name that tells me that that's what you do. So our hope is that we're just easy to find now, and that it's just clear what we do.
For people who want to get involved in this space, who want to support the work that you guys are doing, how can they do that? Is there practical ways to get involved? Are you still looking for education mentors, which you have done in the past? What can we do?
Yeah, 3 ways. Everyone loves 3 ways. So the first thing, and I mean this fully, is prayer. And I feel like we're entering a new season of our boundaries being extended and our influence being extended. And I don't take that lightly. And I would be so grateful for your prayers and feeling like we are kind of partnering with you in prayer as we enter that new season. The second one would be fundraising. Christchurch has been an incredible financial partner over the years as well. And like I said, we have got a considerable gap still on where we're at in our building. So if anyone in Christchurch likes, running a kind of marathon around your park, or wants to set up some kind of fundraising team for RE UK, that's a real need, and particularly after coming out of this last year. And then the third thing would be educational mentors. And the need for that varies depending on where you live and which part of London you're in. But yes, we love it when we have mentors from church partners that really want to invest into the life and the education of one individual young refugee. That would be brilliant.
Thank you for all that you're doing. We love you guys. We are huge fans. We will keep on supporting you. Keep on doing what you're doing. And we can't wait for the next 10 years to look back and see all that you've done. So thank you for joining us.
Get to come back to a Christchurch meeting in person sometime.
Yes. We would love that. Anytime, we would love to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim.